Fc-30 Pro, huh? Well, I guess that gremlin hiding in the tree was kind of right about the satanic ritual. I thought I got a new Xbox controller, but hey, whatever. Let's look at what's on the inside. Alright, again, this time bear with me because you know what? Yeah, one-handed. Man, I could already just feel the copyright claim coming up. What that little intro thingy was, which probably like takes 2-3 minutes maybe, probably not. But what that little thing was is obviously not, like I mentioned earlier, my Xbox controller died, the one that's now over here with the other dead game controllers, right? And as well as the speaker. So this time I actually bought the Fc-30 Pro, and yeah. So I'll just leave it here. Alright. The main reason I bought it was to replace my Xbox controller because, you know, PC gaming, I'm not that good with the mouse and keyboard, or if you know, touchpad or whatever. So, yeah, that was the main reason I got it. And I gotta say, for like the first some days I've used it, it's pretty nice, it's pretty nice. Sure, it takes a while to get used to it, come on, let's be real. This controller is in like the shape of a Super Nintendo controller, and I'm pretty sure everybody else who's played multiple consoles, like me, I got used to this controller. I got used to this fucking thing. I got no problem with the N64 controller, but with this big ass fucking tumor sticking out the back, yeah. I got used to the GameCube controller, but then again, a lot of people do that too. I got used to the PlayStation 2 controller. I got used to the original fucking fat ass piece of shit Duke controller. I got used to the fucking light gun. Hey. And come on, the main biggest one of all, the fucking Wii U pad. I got used to that, and these fucking things. I like them. I like them all. Because if anything is, they taught me how to be, you know, whatever the fuck the word I'm looking for is, multi-purpose, some bullshit like that. But come on, I mean, look at it. And Super Nintendo style controller in the theme of the Famicom, which kinda looks like, more like it is kinda like my Game Boy Micro, the Famicom plate. It even has a little number 1 right there, as you can see right there, and right there. Yeah. So some of you might be asking, what does it come with? Back to the kitchen. We forgot to mention one controller just because I keep forgetting mobile gaming isn't really gaming stuff. But I mean, I have this fucking controller, which I liked it. I liked it back when it first came out. I think it was called the Moga Ace Power. Basically, this hooks up to your fucking iPod or iPhone 5. You extend it, and then just clip it on. And yeah, I'm not going to go into full detail because we're talking about the Fc-30 Pro. Back to the kitchen. With the crappiest tripod I can find, which I'm using a big ass fucking napkin thing. This is what it comes with. Obviously the controller, nubs that can be pressed in. So basically, yeah. You got your R2 and L2, L1 and R1. Then I guess L3 and R3, and then analog. Nice rubbery start and select button, which what you find in old school NES controllers. The D-pad, which I presume was actually stolen from the NES because, you know, it has that rolling feature, which is actually kind of nice. And then the buttons, obviously nice too. Not like Super Nintendo colored or, well, Famicom, yeah, sure. Which, by the way, there's an NES version of this. Not sure if the buttons are red too, like, you know, the original NES controller is. But maybe it is, maybe it isn't. I only got this one just because, you know, the Game Boy Micro, so. What else does it come with, you say? Oh yeah, I forgot to mention, fuck. Right here you have your power button. I believe this is a home button if you're playing something to activate the Steam Home, I guess. Then this is the sync, so in case you want to connect it to your phone, which, by the way, it can. In fact, it can connect to a lot of other things, which we're about to get into right now. So, removing this and that, we come to the box, which, by the way, the box itself here It's pretty nice. Look, it's just fucking paper. But yeah, here is the instruction list, which I will get into in a bit. And here it came with the keychain, which, yeah, it's connected to my other keychains that I'm not gonna show up because, you know, it's my motorcycle keys and Splatoon stuff on it. And here is the cable, which, to my experience, I've already tried it out with my friend's Alienware and my Switch, which, yes, according to the paper down here, you can connect it to your Switch, which works. And I will show some use with it, which I'm gonna be using Breath of the Wild, Splatoon, and I don't know, maybe a few like things like Cave Store or whatever. Just yeah. Which also forgot to mention one thing. You cannot, like, yeah, this is a basic Android cable, but here's the thing, you cannot use any basic Android cable. You have to use the one they package you in, which is also themed. Hey, it's pretty nice. Yeah, you have to use this cable, otherwise for some reason this will not be recognized on your computer, which I tried using my phone charger, didn't work. So you have to use this cable. So I'm not sure what happens if one day you lose it or it breaks or rips on you. Not sure if 8-Bit Dude's gonna send you another one, or maybe if you send them proof. Maybe they might, maybe they won't. But yeah, that's all it comes with. But on the papers here, it tells you how to hook it up to your Android. If we could focus there. There it goes. Android, D input, press and hold power 1 second, then the LEDs will blink. Oh yeah, the LEDs, as you can see here. Oh, it doesn't tell you. Well, here on the edges, let me power that on for you, I say. There you go. Powered on, which is by default. Then if I want to hook it up to my phone, which, by the way, hooking them up is terrifying. I cannot do it on the phone, even with these instructions, which just tell me to press and hold power. Let that focus. Well, anyways, I'm just gonna read them off the paper. Press and hold power for 1 second to power on the controllers. LEDs will blink once per cycle. Then press the pair button for 2 seconds, and then the blinking LEDs will start blinking rapidly. And then go to your Android's device Bluetooth setting and pair it with 8-Bit Do Fc-30 Pro or 8-Bit Do NES 30 Pro. Which, by the way, I cannot do that. It just does not want to connect with my phone. I'm just stupid. I can't do it. So then for Windows, if you are going to do this, if, you know, Alienware. So if you have an Alienware or just anything with Bluetooth functionality like a laptop, the way you'd want to do it is press down and hold X. Let me power that off for a second. Press and hold X and the power button, which will turn on and then let go, and it should be blinking twice. There you go, 2 beats per cycle. And then, just like that, you just go to your device, or just go to your Windows settings and find Bluetooth and then just connect it, and there you go. Oh yeah, forgot to also mention, there is no rumble, so. I mean, but whatever, some of us grew without rumble, some of us grew up without rumble, whatever. Anyways. So then Mac OS, I don't have a Mac laptop, I guess. Yeah. Not gonna get into that just because I can't test it. Then, forgot to mention, fuck. Alright. It hasn't happened to me yet, but it says here are what happens how to signal when you're getting low on battery, so if you can see that. Low battery means the LEDs will start blinking red. Battery charging, LEDs blinking green. Battery fully charged, LEDs will stop blinking in green. And on here on support it says this. Please visit 8-Bit Do for additional support to access additional systems as in the Wii U, Wii, PS3, and more for your 8-Bit Do controllers. Which I have not tested on my Wii U yet. But what I can show you is the Switch and how it works. So, to the game area, I guess. Where my studio is at, basically. Bear with me, it's gonna be hard to do just because, you know, one hand, whatever, you get the idea. Alright, so to connect it to your Switch, you have to press Y and then the power button, and mine was already connected, so mine should just load up like that. There it goes. And then the home button actually becomes your home button, and then the sync button becomes your screenshot button. Yeah. So I would be testing it in online game, but you know Nintendo might copy my shit. So as you can see, it works. Left analog moves you around, right analog looks around. Right trigger looks, squid ass I guess, and then squid begging. So that's Splatoon working on that. As the I would show Breath of the Wild and you know all that other good stuff, but you know I need a tripod for this point. So let's just go with the easiest game here, which yeah, Resident Evil Clone Vaccine. Now the only reason I'm using Vaccine is because that one you can play with the analog or the D-pad, so we can do that too. So let's do it anyways. Despite all your efforts, your friend got infected again. Find the vaccine before the time runs out. Great game. I still have footage where I was gonna play it, but I never did. So as you can see with the D-pad, there it goes. Yeah, it works perfectly. The only problem I notice is that you can't sometimes, you know, do two inputs. Sometimes it does, sometimes it doesn't work. But yeah, as you can see, game's working fine. I need to pick up a weapon, which is over here. I still haven't done this just because I only have a bit of some recording where, yeah, that's about it. But let's try it out with probably the main game you're going to want to buy this for. Which, obviously, it would be Breath of the Wild, but, you know, I'm not going to show it just because I'm stupid. It works, but yeah, let's see how it does in battle. So, uncomfortably recording with, like, uncomfortably recording with the camera on my palms and shit. Yeah. Doesn't matter, let's just pick random stuff. So yeah, as you can see, it works. It feels nice. Only thing is it feels uncomfortable, not the controller. I'm just saying the way I'm recording. So yeah, there's that. I would test Cave Story, but I mean, come on, anything works on that. Well, that was the first time I dropped it. Alright. So to connect it to the PC, it's not that hard. You just press X, plug in the cable, the one that they gave you, not any random one, because I would explain why it doesn't work. And yeah, so there it is, and there's X input. As you can see, it works, even though it's not really an Xbox controller, but hey, does the job. There it goes. So the first game we're gonna test is obviously the fucking game that has basically SEDs for any controller. Brutal Doom, if I could find it. Much like the Xbox controller, obviously it works just because, you know, it's Doom. Everything fucking goes on it. Yeah. Only problem is that it's probably too sensitive for me. That's just the way it is once you plug it in and actually get it to work. So, yeah. By the way, this mod's called Sean Khan. Check out Aquarius. He does this fucking review. Pretty weird. So, yeah. Probably let's test out an actual fucking PC game. You know what? Never mind. Let's try a fan game. Which is still PC, so fuck it. In case you haven't heard, this is Castlevania Le Card Chronicles 2. A fan game that was made. It works perfectly. Only problem is some of the buttons are strangely inputted. Like... Alright, never mind. So the game works perfectly. Except that some of the buttons are switched, like B is A is B. Yeah. Good game, good game. But I'm not gonna play just because, you know, one hand fucking recording, the other one trying to use the controller. If it was a one-handed, maybe I'd play it. Running at some low-ass frames per second and really, really very low fucking quality. Hover Revolta Gamers, which this is the only way I can play at very maxed out low settings. So, yeah, Jet Set Radio basically, the future of Jet Set Radio in a sense. So yeah. Works, the controller works. If anything is, I tried using my Saturn gamepad. Works, that even works too. Only problem is obviously, you know, no right analog to look around, so. That's the only gripe. But this one has a right analog, so There is no excuse. Fun game. If you have it, friend me on it. If you don't, then I don't know. Go play something else. I would try Counter-Strike, but yeah, the server I play on is too many cancer people. We literally got one dude in there saying he's gonna hack us, and most likely he's one of those little kids that play Minecraft and says he can hack anybody and belongs with FaZe. So let's test the final game, which is one and only Left 4 Dead. So yeah, this is the mode. This is the mode that got my Xbox controller fucked up just because I literally I left the melee button switched on, which is RT. Yeah, so I left that turned on, and that's literally the reason why. Or more like I kept spamming it. So as you can see, strafing, looking around, L to crouch, or yeah, swing, shoot, and instant turn, I guess. And yeah, it all works, even L3 and R3, whatever they do, which they don't do anything here. So yeah, it works. It actually works. And yeah. Yeah, oh yeah, I could pick shit up too. So as you can see that, the buttons actually work. Picking up the med kit.
Hello!
There it goes. Yeah. It all works, even the little D-pad. Yeah. Probably the dumbest thing I've ever done. So at this point, I've tested out at least a few PC games, obviously. One of them being the SGD known as Doom, which, yeah, can be ported anything. We get the fucking joke. I tried it on that, I tried it on Left 4 Dead, I tried it on the Card Chronicles 2, and Hover Roll to Gamers. Again, I will test it out on Far Cry, but I can't get it to fucking work. Even after actually really installing the true Uplay, even then it doesn't work, so yeah. And then I could try it on the Wii U, but it's kind of weird because they said you had to hold down both sync buttons and then the Fc-30 button. And then after that, even if it does hold up, that's about it. I also forgot to mention one thing about the Switch part is that, yeah, it's true. You cannot use the controller, which by the way it comes with a nice little case. You cannot use the controller while there's a Joy-Con activated nearby. I've tested it with a friend, and the inputs will start getting really laggy. If you want, I'll try that this time with Minecraft. So, you know what? Fuck it, let's do it right now. So literally here we have pulled up Minecraft, and as you can see, controller. It all works nice, yeah. But now let's introduce when the Joy-Cons are turned on. Yeah, my other account. Alright, so we're not gonna obviously play with that, but as you can see, once I do start messing with it, it looks natural, right? Not sure if you noticed that, but there is a bit of choppiness to it. There it goes. So yeah, not too noticeable, but at least you can sort of tell that there is some kind of input lag when you try to use both of these controllers at the same time. And yeah, by the way, the company itself claims that you can use other 8-bit do controllers and it'll work. Too bad I only have one, otherwise I would have bought all their other ones just like their... Hold on, let me just put this down onto the map. Alright, so literally after going to sleep, because the storm kicked in and it's fucking dark in here, so hold up. Alright. So as I was talking about earlier, they do have other controllers. If 8-bit do does, they have NES ones and all the other good stuff. You know what? Let me pull up their page. You know, no, I was gonna pause. You know what? Let me keep talking while I do look it up. Fucking, I don't care if I get copyright claim for playing Van Halen's music. So, anyways, their page shows all the stuff they got. Not sure if it's true or not, but they said they might be releasing other controllers, maybe not. And yeah, in fact, if anything, I think it was these people or Hyperkin that, boy, the ones that made the Bluetooth adapters for the NES Classic when it first came out. They could use any controller, and if you want to take a look, here it is. They have the Super Nintendo one for, I guess, American version, and the European one. Then, pretty much sure it's dual analog for, I guess, modern games too. Not sure if these also have L2 and R2, but yeah, as you can see, these two are right there. Then the NES 30 Pro, the Fc-30 Pro, and their NES ones that supposedly work with everything else. And then yeah, you just get all the other Bluetooth controllers and the other devices, which, by the way, I like this. This is a USB hub, and yeah, I'd like to review these, but I don't got money, so back onto the ones. Ugh. Excuse me, dude. I actually took a nap and just woke up, so. Alright. So, all of these controllers work for the Switch. Pretty badass. And they work for the PC as well. But, like I said, I do want to try it on the Wii U, but the only game I have for it is, sadly, literally, this is my only Wii U game. I would have had Smash and all that for it, but basically 3DS and PC and Dreamcast were the only things I ever played. The Wii U was originally my little sister. She never fucking played it. So, let's try pairing it to the Wii U, I guess. Which, they say it's the same thing as a Switch, but whatever. Let's try it anyways. I take that back. I tried. It tells me press and hold Y and power, which I did. Then, go to the Wii U, press the sync button, and then a second after that, I pressed the sync button on the controller. I literally did it for 10 minutes. Nothing happened. So, yeah. It probably does work, or I probably just need a firmware update for this. Maybe I do. But for now, I'll just test it the way it was. So, PC works perfect. Switch has a bit of flaws, but it works perfect. Everything else, perfect. I haven't tried it on mobile just because I'll explain that it's hard to connect it there, because hold the power, then press the sync, then press the Bluetooth options on your phone. Look for it. It's not that easy. So there's that. Now I would try it on other things like the PS3. It says it's compatible with that, but that's about it. So. And then, as I mentioned on their 8-Bit Do site, they have little Bluetooth connectors that actually work with the physical devices, like the NES Classic, the real NES, and then the real Super Nintendo, but I don't have them. So, there's that. It's not like I had another game to try it on, probably a really, famous game. You know what I'm talking about. And the fucking course, it has to be Halo, just because, you know what? Sorta like Doom, this is also STDs for any controllers. Well, sorta, not really. By the way, I beat this game in, was it Legendary mode with the Dreamcast. Wish I could have done it, but now that I've actually found out, for shits and giggles, I plugged in, my Dreamcast controller adapter to, the PS4 as a joke, and I guess that fried the inside, so it doesn't work anymore. So if I could, yeah. Gamepads. I think that would be wireless. Which, by the way, this can identify what controller you're using. The USB gamepad, I think this was when I used the PS4. No, this was the Dreamcast one. Then obviously that would be my tiny Xbox controller. And then I think this would be this one. So, let's see. Nope. Alright, yeah, you're probably gonna have to bear with me. So, I'll be back in a sec. I take that back. I failed. It didn't recognize the controller at all. Maybe it's that I mean, it says it recognizes an Xbox controller according to input map. Oh, that's why not connected. Be back in a flash, I guess. So I decided to restart my laptop because, you know what? Mostly doing that, it probably solves like at least 99.99% of the problems. That 1%, I have no idea what it is. Probably I'll count that as viruses. So maybe 100%, maybe not. Maybe because this computer probably has AIDS or something. Because, yeah, most of my games here aren't even official games. They're just, you know, bootlegs or something. But yeah. There we go. Connected. Maybe now it'll work. Alright, we have it restarted with everything working properly. So, and as you can see, it actually recognizes a gamepad. So, wireless controller. Available devices. Oh jeez. Unless, it recognizes an Xbox controller. Controller Xbox One. I think it's this one. No. Shit. I don't know. We'll just have to test which one it is. So, controller keyboard. Blah, 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 blah. I think it's gonna be the Xbox 360 one. I don't know. But we could try it out. So, alright. Yeah, by the way, I used to play this shit a lot during high school. Just because, you know what, we had nothing else to do. So, doesn't matter. Just random shit. And controller fell down again. Alright, so if you'll excuse me, I'm just gonna wait for this thing to load. And it works perfectly. Left analog, obviously, to move. Right analog to look around. Right trigger does nothing. Oh, it's just a regular R button. Oh, yeah. Oh yes, because it's 360. I tried mapping it to be as much to the original Xbox controller as I could get it. So yeah, it all works. It all works. Though I feel like L3 and R3 were swapped because I think the way I had it, L3 was to crouch, not zoom in, and you know reverse that. R3 was to zoom in, not crouch. But yeah, other than that, it all works perfectly. So, like I said, I would try it out story mode, but I'll probably just get my ass handed to me just because, you know, yeah, I'm in a story mode, not just regular by myself offline, so, yeah. So, in conclusion, this controller is actually pretty good. For what I spent, like, at least 40 bucks on this, maybe like 42 bucks, $41, who knows, but, yeah. Even with Prime savings. But anyways, this controller, it actually does a lot. The only downsides I could probably tell you is there's no home button, even though apparently the right button on the power button, I'm not sure if y'all could probably see that. Well, anyways, one of these buttons supposedly acts like your home button, but even after I connect it to my PC, it doesn't lead me to the Steam home, so that's okay. I don't mind. I don't really activate big picture mode even when I want to play it on the big screen, which is over there. But yeah, other than that, I only got it to replace my Xbox controller. There's no rumble, but then again, I never really noticed there was any rumble in any game I've ever played, so there's that. And then if you want to use it for the Switch, go ahead. It's less expensive than the Pro controller, which, you know, it's fucking expensive as shit. You might as well just buy this or get used to playing with the Joy-Cons, which I found it to be easier that way. And come on, it's not too bad. So yeah. And then if you want to get this for what its original intention was, which was to play mobile games, go ahead, I guess. No one's stopping you. So yeah, I like the little clue. So Fc-30 Pro, is it worth buying it? Yes, it is. It really is. So, not gonna lie, I was really skeptical because I was getting it just, like I said, replace the PC controller, and then until I found out I could do all this other shit, I was psyched. So, that's the main reason I bought it. It's the versatility that made me want to get it. So, if you want to buy it, go ahead. Just remember to be careful because it's gonna cost a little. Like, it's gonna cost a lot. So, yeah. That's pretty much it for this video. I know I got some lame ass fucking closures, but you know what? Life is fucking lame. So, you know what? I'm just gonna leave y'all with that much facts, which is, I have no fucking idea how long that video is. So, I will just probably go vibe out and do whatever I do best. So, peace out, people.